I only met my grandmother once when I was around 8 years old. After that, my parents stopped talking about her and would get mad if I asked about her. It's not like she died or anything. As I got older, I always wondered why they wouldn't let me visit her or even talk to her. Now, at 20 years old, I still remember my grandmother's address. I wanted to know if she still lived there or if she was okay. I decided to try. I arrived at her house after about 2 hours. Her house was still there, large and beautiful, just as I remembered it. I got out of the car and walked to the door and knocked. It opened almost instantly. My grandmother looked the same, literally. It was as if she had never aged. In fact, I almost believed it. Then she invited me in. We talked about why my family cut off contact with her, and I started to believe that my parents were the idiots in this situation. It took me so long to get there, and we talked so much about life that it ended up getting very late. Grandma then convinced me to stay the night and showed me the room where I could sleep. The room seemed newly renovated. It was very cozy, and I settled in quickly. But before she left, Grandma's expression changed. It was as if a new soul entered her body. She handed me a list of rules. At first, I thought it was a joke, but she told me to read the rules very carefully or something bad would happen. Then she wished me good night, left, and closed the door. I started reading the list. These rules are essential if you want to survive the night here, so read them carefully. Rule number 1. You must have noticed that Grandma didn't turn off the bedroom light before saying good night. She did this to protect you, so keep the light on all the time. I'm sorry if you like to sleep in the dark, but you have to turn off the lights. Rule number 2. Never, and I mean never, leave your room after 1 a.m. If you feel the need to go to the bathroom because of some physiological need, consult the following rule. Rule number 3. Look around the room for an object to urinate in, but it can't be just any object. That's not what I meant. If you can't find an object that is a container for your needs, first calm down, then pray for exactly 3 minutes. It doesn't matter if you are religious or not. After that, you have exactly 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go to the bathroom. It's at the end of the hallway. Now, if you can't make it back in time, find a way to escape. It's better than what they will do to you, but I hope you can get out of the house, otherwise it's pointless. Rule number 4. Your grandmother will check your room at the following times: 2:23, 2:56, and 13:45. Memorize this. You must be in bed at these times and not occasionally looking out the window, sitting, or standing. If you're not lying down, apologize to your voice 5 times. If she responds saying it's okay, go to bed now. You're safe. Try to fall asleep now. If she says, I forgive you, consult the next rule. Rule number 5. Take the nearest sharp object and use it on your grandmother, as you must be too weak to act in favor of your life. I hope at least your pain tolerance is high. Rule number 6. After 4 a.m., you will hear your grandmother screaming your name. She will shout from the kitchen, her room, or maybe from your room's window, wherever the voice comes from. Ignore her. She is not your grandmother. Rule number 7. If you hear knocks on your door, be careful and pay close attention to the number of knocks. I know it can be difficult. After all, when the knocks come, you must have gone through a lot and be scared. But again, pay attention. If you hear only 2 knocks, stay quiet and pretend to be asleep. If you hear 5 knocks, open the door. It's your real grandmother. Rule number 8. It is important to note that your real grandmother will only enter your room if you break one of the rules or if you are in imminent danger. As soon as she enters your room, pay attention to her behavior. This will tell you if you are safe or not. If Grandma sits on the bed next to you, it means you are definitely safe for the rest of the night. If she stays in front of you, whether standing, crouching, or sitting, there is no more hope. You have 10 seconds to try to escape from the house before she teleports you to hell. Rule number 9. If you are teleported to hell, close your eyes immediately and beg for forgiveness. If they forgive you, you will be sent back to Grandma's house and will be safe for the rest of the night. Otherwise, if they are angry, pray because what those beings will do to you is unimaginable. Rule number 10. Finally, at 8 a.m., if you have survived all this, get out of bed slowly and quietly start walking towards the kitchen on the ground floor. Eat the food Grandma gives you and do not speak to her under any circumstances. Ignore her at all costs. If she tries to start a conversation after breakfast, you are completely safe for the rest of the day. Enjoy your stay. After reading this, I thought it was a prank. But when I remembered how serious my grandmother was, I only met my grandmother follow the rules when I was around 8 years old. I decided to follow them. After that, not to mention that she was never a playful lady, get mad if I asked about her. With this kind of thing. It's not like she died. I lay down after finishing reading. As I got older, I always wondered why they wouldn't let me visit her. I kept thinking about the rules. Now, it was 20 years old. I heard the door open. I still remember my grandmother enter my room. I wanted to know if she still lived there or if she was okay. I immediately decided to panic, remembering I arrived at her house. I knelt down and said 5 times repeatedly, her house was still there. I'm sorry, large and beautiful. Please forgive me. Just as I waited for her response. I got out of the car. She calmly walked to the door and knocked. It's okay. It opened almost go to bed. Instantly. I tried to calm down. My grandmother looked the same, controlling my breathing. It was as if she had never aged. However, in fact, when I realized what had happened, then she started to overthink again. We talked about why my family cut off contact that the rules were indeed real. And I started to believe that my browsing the internet on my phone. Situation. Restless took me so long to get there. I couldn't. We talked so much about life that it ended up getting very late. And my mind even started to create then convinced me to stay the night and showed me the room. But then I heard my grandmother shouting my name. The room seemed just by the tone of her voice. It was very cozy. It wasn't my real grandmother. And I settled in quickly. The voice calling me was similar but very sharp expression changed. Immediately after that, a new soul entered her body. On my door. She handed me all my hair stood on end. First, and I thought it was the room light being on, but she told me to read the rules like I was very carefully or something bad would happen. I could feel tears streaming down my face. I thought I was going to die at that exact moment. I started reading. I couldn't help but start to cry. These rules are essential. Then I realized if you want to survive the night here. I heard someone knock them exactly 5 times. Rule number 1. Maybe you must Grandma will save me. Grandma didn't turn off the bedroom light. I opened the door saying goodnight. And Grandma seemed angry. To protect you. She entered my room and stood right in front of me. I'm sorry if you like to sleep in the dark. Started to run, but you have to turn off the room and went downstairs. Rule number 2: entering a smaller room and hiding in a closet. Never from upstairs. Leave your room after 1 a.m. I could hear either my grandmother sobbing to go to the bathroom for help because of some physiological need. But when I woke up, the following I realized I was back in the same room. I look around the room for an object and it read 7:58, but it can't be finally just any remembering object. The last rule. That's not what I meant. I started walking towards the kitchen. If you can't find an object that still is a not sure if I had a nightmare or if what I experienced was real, then pray Grandma for exactly and I 3 stayed minutes. Quiet as it we doesn't matter if you are religious but after we or not. Finished. After that, she looked at you me have exactly 5 minutes and 36 you seconds left the room to go to the bathroom. Until next time. It's at the end of the hallway. Now, if you can't make it back in time, find a way to escape. It's better than what they will do to you, but I hope you can get out of the house.